I hate to break it to you. It's your fault. It's your fault because you're not willing to make the change. It's your fault because you don't want to see things get better. Author Lori Buchanan once said, and I want to repeat this several times throughout the podcast, whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. I want you to think about that. Whatever you are not changing, you're choosing. Think about where you're at right now. Are you happy with it? If you're not, you're choosing it. You're choosing not to change it. So it is your choice whether you want to make that change to better yourself, to create better hopes, to create better situations, to get that new job, to find that new house, to get that better relationship. Because right now, guys, you're choosing to be in the present moment. You're choosing exactly where you're at. You're choosing, if you're broke, to be broke. You're choosing not to put the work in. So whatever you are not changing is because you're choosing what you're currently in. So you're unhappy with your marriage, you're choosing not to change your circumstances. And when you don't change them, you can't blame anybody but yourself. And we've talked about it before. It's uncomfortable to make change. Change is uncomfortable. The unknown is uncomfortable. The unknown of what is out there scares the shit out of so many people. I'm working with a client right now that's looking to leave her husband because he's been cheating on her for the last couple of years, but she can't get quite over that hump. Why? Because of uncertainty. What does that uncertainty look like? Right now, the pain is not greater than the alternative. And right now, she is choosing to be where she's at because she is choosing not to change. And we need to really think about that for a second. Why do so many people stay in situations that they know aren't right for them, or they stay in relationships that they know are not going to lead long term? Because it's comfortable. Because change scares the shit out of everybody. And at the end of the day, we don't want to admit it or not, but change is something that we're not accustomed to. Our subconscious, if we really think about it, is programmed to protect us. And what does protecting us look like? Going back to what we know. It's better to know what we know than to know what we don't know. So we need to reprogram our brains to say it is okay for change. Change actually will probably lead to something better than we've ever imagined before. I was talking to a client today who's going to get ready to leave his partner of 6 years because he doesn't see a future with him. Why? Because he wants kids and the other one doesn't know if he does or not. And he doesn't know if he wants to be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't know if they want to have kids, because he says, I'm not getting any younger and I need to figure it out. So unfortunately, he has to have that brutal truth conversation. He is finally going to make the change instead of choosing his current circumstances. He's finally going to choose the other alternative rather than sitting in comfortability, because he's not happy. And he wants to be happy, but he's not willing to make that change until today. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that actually works out for him and how that conversation went, because he's sitting there going, well, I don't want to be alone. I don't want this. I don't want that. And then you sit there and you turn around and say, well, what if being alone is better than the situation that you're in? What if coming home to this empty house is quieter and more peaceful and brings you peace over the relationship that you're currently in? And we never think about what the end game is. We never really think about the alternative. We always think about that one thing because our subconscious is so programmed to say change is bad. We need to go in protection mode, and we don't want to do anything that's going to upset our own zing or zang or whatever you want to call it. But, like Dr. Buchanan said, whatever you are not changing, you're choosing. So when are we going to figure out what circumstances we want to change? I work with so many clients that want to change their job, but they just won't go out and go through the interview process or anything else. Well, that tells me that you're okay sitting where you're at right now and with the job that you are and the salary that you're making, and you don't want to go out and make that change. If you're not willing to put the extra effort in on the weekends and give up those weekends, then you're choosing to be in your current financial situation, or you're choosing to be where you're at today. That's the brutal truth. That's the reality of the situation. It is uncomfortable to go knock on doors and to create a side hustle. It is uncomfortable to knock on doors and to gain additional business to ask people for money. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's what sales is. But it's uncomfortable. And when we're uncomfortable, that's when change happens. That's when great things happen. What happens if you knock on one door and they say yes? What happens if you knock on two doors and they say yes? Next thing you know, you've got a side hustle and a side business doing whatever it is. Power washing, washing windows, I don't know, cleaning boats or cleaning cars or babysitting or whatever it is. But now that extra income allows you to go on vacation once a month or once every couple months. What does that mean for you? What does that look like? That change that you didn't want to make because you were choosing to be in the spot that you're in is that much better, and we don't even realize it. We got to realize that clarity is power. Understanding that clarity provides us a path to a better happiness for ourselves. Clarity provides the opportunities that we never thought even existed because we couldn't think about it because we weren't thinking with a clear mind. So when you start thinking about that quote, that we are choosing to be where we are because we aren't choosing to make the differences, is why we create anxiety, why we create depression, because we don't live in the moment. We don't look forward to anything else. And that anxiety is because we want something else, but we're not willing to do it. So if we're not willing to do something, we're going to be anxious about it because we're not willing to change the situation that we're in, and we're not willing to change the opportunities that we have before us. Everybody has an opportunity to make the change. They have to want to. Everybody has the opportunity to change their circumstances that they're in today to become the better version of themselves, but they have to want to choose that. And right now you got to figure out, is staying where you're at better, or is the next version going to be better, even though if you don't know what it looks like? Because let me ask you this question. Could it be any worse? Could it be any worse in the situation that you're in right now? Could you be any more broke? Could you be any more miserable in your marriage? Could you be any more miserable with your partner? Could you be any more unhappy with the job that you're in right now? I mean, you could barely get up today and drive to work. So what if we were to change that? Because we're choosing right now to be in that spot. But what if we choose a different outcome? What if we choose a best hope for ourselves? What if we finally choose happiness for ourselves? What would that look like? And I did another blog that talks about it's okay to be selfish, because it is okay to be happy. We are allowed to be happy. And a lot of us don't think that, but we are allowed to be happy. Every one of us is allowed the opportunity to be happy and create the best opportunities for ourselves and the best versions of ourselves. And we can only do that as if we make change. Because again, guys, we're choosing to be in the situation that we're in. And if we don't like it, then we need to choose to move forward. And I can tell you what, Dr. Buchanan was absolutely correct with her quote when she talks about whatever you are not changing is because we're choosing it. So whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, until we make the change and we make the decision to change, we're going to be stuck. And if you need help trying to figure out what that is, find somebody that can help you figure that path out, whether it's me or another certified mental health clinician that is trained and licensed. They're the ones that are going to be able to help you find clarity and to move down the path that you want to. Again, I'm Chris Kourtakis. I am a licensed counselor, and I work with high-achieving individuals who want to make the change. I want to work with individuals who are willing to put the work in, and they're willing to make the change because they're choosing to better themselves today than they were yesterday. They're choosing to better themselves tomorrow and become a better version of themselves tomorrow than they were today. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button below. If you want to leave a comment, please do. I respond to all of them because I want to know what kind of feedback you want and what you think of this video. If you think somebody else needs to hear this message, please forward this video on to them. But guys, whatever you are not changing, you're choosing. You just got to figure out if you want to choose something that's good, something that's going to help, something that's going to better your life, or you're going to choose to be stuck where you are. At the end of the day, the choice is yours.